You'll take a support team that will involve intelligence officers, of course. As important of all, the air crew who go and do it are the ground crew. You've got a huge team supporting you, making sure that the aircraft are completely serviceable, looking after the aircraft, looking after the weapons, looking after all the kit. My experience would be is you'd probably have 15 to 20 guys out there just looking after each aircraft. What you do once you get to theatre is that you have to settle into a different environment. You're not in the, if you like, the comfortable environment of your own squadron facilities or your own base. You'll all turn up, those guys, probably 3 to 4 hours before you're going to take off. And then you're into a routine of preparation for that mission. First thing you'll probably do is an initial brief. It'll be an intelligence update. What's the weather like? Is there anything pre-notified that's different from the previous days? Then you'll go into a specific formation sorted brief. What are you doing with your wingman? As part of that, you'll go through all your routines, all your procedures, who you're going to talk to, what support aircraft are going to be out there. There's a thing called SPINs, special instructions. They can change every day, so you've got to make sure you know what are the details of the day, what are the frequencies, who you're talking to. Once you've gone through that, you get ready to go out to the aircraft about an hour before you take off. You've got to get all your kit ready. You do a brief on conduct after capture, emergencies, personal survival, all those procedures in case something goes wrong. Go out to the aircraft, complete check of the aircraft. Of course, it's going to be fully armed. So you've got to make sure that you're particularly careful, all the weapons are there properly, everything looks okay with the aircraft. Climb into the aircraft, start it up, complete check on the ground, and then you're ready to go. You're almost certainly the first people that you're going to check in with is the AWACS, the Airborne Warning and Control System, and that is your main point of contact throughout the mission. If there's an incident, they are going to then take that information and pass it very rapidly through a command and control chain that will come back either with guidance or a decision, for example, whether or not you engage or whether or not there's other action that you might want to take. If you know that you do not have the authority to do something without clearance, then you have to wait. If that's a missed opportunity, it's a missed opportunity. But those are the limitations that you work through. If I use an example of my own experience, if we go back to deny flight in the Balkans back in the 1990s, there was a situation one day where there was an incursion into the no-fly zone. This was called to the AWACS. The AWACS went back to the Air Operations Centre, which was in Vicenza in Italy at the time, and a response came back to engage that aircraft in less than 2 minutes. Most people will say that operations are 98% routine, and then that 2% of where something happens, you've got to be on the ball. Whenever you get to that point of some form of engagement, and it doesn't matter what it is, you will get that build-up of adrenaline, a sense of concentration, time compression. It's that sense of situational awareness is the thing that really drives you to make sure you don't want to be the guy who gets it wrong. But again, through training, you feel as though you're in the best possible place in terms of your environment to be able to cope with that. The main worries would tend to be is if you have some sort of major failure that means you can't get home. Most of the guys, certainly if the thing is in the back of your mind, you end up suddenly in an environment that can be very different, very hostile. You tell guys you can't relax until you've landed, the aircraft is shut down. You've got to keep on top of your game. Most people really don't want to end up in the Badlands on your own instead of sitting in your aircraft and taking it home.